the memories shine. We're digging up gold from another time. Treasure walks. Now we rewind, hit play again. Let the archives roll where it all began. Flash in your pan, it's a flashback jam. Turn it around just because we can. Old gold moments, new hearts revive. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live. Hopes and cheers. Dedicate like so many more. So lighting it up like never before. From open light stories that shine, to relive the spark one frame at a time. His history made the pen and the plan. Archive flashback straight from the land. Flash in your pan, it's a flashback jam. Digging up legends to the loudest dreams and old gold moments, new hearts revive. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Well, as many of you know, I have the Wandering Buffaloes joining us tonight. My friends Shad and Kathleen Biffle. So I am sure we're going to have a good conversation. It's been a while since we've even touched base with each other. But I see we have our Aussie friends in the house already. Caleb, how you doing? Full of gold. And first in the house, Chew, welcome back. Hey, the Wandering Buffaloes are in the chat room. Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator. Terry, how's Grease Monkey Prospecting doing? Whoa. Definitely have to get on the stream again. Maybe during our birthdays again, Terry. HD Shovelhead, how you doing, my brother of another mother? Say hi to Judy for me. When you get home from work, brother. David Villa. Hola, bien amigo. ¿Cómo está usted? Bien? Bien. Robert Dupati, how you doing? Another Ohioan I want to get on the river with a lot more next season. Jeff Otworth, how you doing, man? Jeff Otworth has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen, along with Thomas Pennyweight. Folks, good to see you, brother. It's always good to see you in the house. Each and every one of you. Terry Curry also. Now, it's that time. I'm going to run real quick to the other set while my intro's playing. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
production.
All right, welcome to the show again, Shad and Kathleen. It's great seeing you two again.
How's it going, Ed?
Hello.
Going pretty good. Busy. No, remember I got my
Oh yeah,
Biffles
don't tread
ro-
on me.
my,
Yeah,
on
I
mining.
remember that.
That's right.
Wandering Buffaloes.
I love the
merch on.
intro. It's like a Wayne's World kind of
Yeah, it's exciting.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, that was
Ed's
made.
World.
Thanks. It was made for me by my friend Kobadiah Miller, and his boys are doing the backup singing for it. But boy, when Dano got too busy with work and Jesse's wife retired and more of their time was taken up being together and stuff, and they pulled away from the show,
Yeah.
I had to shorten it down quite a bit.
Well, you know, life happens.
Yeah,
That
work
it
gets in the
does.
way,
That it
everything
does.
You know,
So
I
that's-
just miss my friends, and we're all getting busy in our own little things, and like you two, you know.
Yeah, we miss everybody too. I mean, memories are popping up on Facebook, you know, and crazy people like us are in the creek in January in Ohio.
Right.
And I'm sitting in my pajamas on the couch, and I'm just like, what?
I don't know, it makes you feel guilty for not doing anything because, you know. But no, thanks for
Oh, geez.
inviting us on your show,
Yes,
man.
thank you. That was nice to
Bringing us out of the shadows.
I had to pull the buffaloes back out.
Bring us in.
We've been hibernating. I don't know.
Greetings from West Virginia. Greetings, Clifton. How are you? Summer? Greetings. Benzo Gold. Hello. The Canadian Hillbilly. Good to see you. And David Alfonsati says, David says, greetings, Ed and the Wandering
I gotta get my glasses
Buffaloes.
on to read all this.
And I just noticed Thomas.
Here.
Darn, they are still alive. Really, Thomas?
Here.
Uh,
There, now I can see.
Really? You say that and there it is. Thomas, really?
I know.
Jeez. I kind of expected that though,
I know,
because
I
Thomas and Shad, when we were in Alaska, they were always joking around. Let's just say that.
Now,
that was
I would love to take that trip that you guys do up there, and that's one of the places that Brian Wilder and
Yep.
shoot, he goes up there with his dredging partner, not Alex, but the one on Vern's boat, right?
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
We were up there with Brian once, and that was a hoot. That was like one of the first times he's ever been out.
Yeah, this first year.
It was his first year.
He came along us on our trip, and then the latter years we would come in right after him. You know, they would work on like usually the 8 or the 10-inch, and then when we get there, we'd take over working the 8-inch, while the other crew would work their 10-inch commercial. So
the last time we were up in Alaska, like we didn't go last year, but it was the year before, we actually got to work
full time
for them.
Oh,
And-
that's cool. It looks like the owner, the wife, really likes you guys.
Well, yeah, Ginger is a good friend of ours, and you know we love Matt and Ginger. a lot. Their family is just amazing. She does so well with those kids. She
Yeah.
is definitely a mom for boys. Let's just put it that way. To raise two little boys in the Alaskan bush. Oh my gosh, she's just amazing. She's an amazing woman.
Yeah, they do a heck of a job running their camp, and then of course they have, you know, they also run like a commercial dredging, so the Tenn, and then if there's enough somebody else, though another pair, they'll run the 8 too, and then they also are working on some inland stuff nearby, so they got their hands full. But honestly, if there was a bucket list trip for somebody, I would do everything I can to go up there. It's phenomenal. You're like living a great life, good accommodations, the food's amazing, everything's there for you.
It so bad. I've got the gold fever really bad, and I just miss it.
Oh, I bet you're like the queen gold dredger too.
I mean, I just turned 50 this year though, and like in September. Well, you know,
you still look 30 to me, Kathleen.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna take these off.
Yeah, take the glasses off.
I want to comment to my friend in Southern Oregon. He was commenting on your shirt design.
Awesome.
He's like, nice shirt, Ed.
Yeah.
That was one of our earliest of any design. I remember, I swear, we were at a gold show. We made them in the room.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We were at
Nashville.
Was it Nashville?
It was the very first gold show we have ever been to, right?
It was either Nashville. Yeah, I think it was the Nashville.
Or Springfield.
I remember making t-shirts in the hotel. No, in the hotel room. It was, I think, the
Well, you had your heat press and everything up there?
Yeah, well, Dennis brought his, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we were like, oh, sweet, let's make some up and some for, put them out for the show and stuff for Prospectors Radio.
We used to do some crazy things in the hotel rooms.
A lot of crazy stuff happens in those rooms.
When you get a bunch of prospectors.
I was looking in my drawer because I have like 4 drawers of channel shirts and gold prospecting related shirts. And I'm looking at Got Gold or this one.
Have that one.
Yeah, the Got Gold's a good one.
I picked this one though.
See, what's funny is like those ones that we ironed on, the Got Gold, that one, and a couple others, right?
They
hold up. Now the ones that we would buy and have, the companies print and send out, on order, man, those ones, like everything falls off, like all the stuff they iron on and decals or whatever.
It peels off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few I've ordered from Vista Print and Sticker or
Spreadshirt.
We used Spreadshirt, yeah. That's who we used.
Spring Store or all kinds of stuff, try and move that stuff's hard enough as it is.
I know, right?
I don't push it. No, the show was in Nashville, Thomas, not Knoxville.
Yeah, we never went to
Knoxville. Because I got my banjo pan. I was a beta tester for Red Wilcox and Mike Pun on the banjo pan, and they autographed it for me, and I picked it up at Nashville from Mike, and we were up at my stepson's house, and I drove down and saw you guys at the Nashville.
Yeah,
that was actually a cool show because it was one, they, for whatever reason, I think that it was either a new place or something, so there wasn't a big turnout, right? So it was a lot of fun. A lot of people just came and hung out the whole day with you, And then I did win one item in their major part raffle. It was like an underwater sluice thing. I can't even remember. We ended up giving it away too after using it, trying it out.
We used it once.
Just didn't work in Ohio that much in the Midwest. You need more depth and stuff. But oh yeah, it was
was it like a fluid bed sluice?
Oh man, I can't remember. Yeah, it was a fluid bled. It was black. I can't. It was like all
Snake River, like the
like,
Rincon or something.
Yeah,
a real little guy.
No,
yeah,
it was like this big.
It was I would say it's probably almost 3 foot long.
We put it underwater and it worked that way.
Right. Fluid bed, you need a lot of water
of
flow
water
to create the fluid bed itself in the trap.
I bet it would have worked in Alaska when the water was shallow like that, but
with the current moving,
it was moving still. But
we got Rob Y Gold in the house and GoPro Unlimited. How you doing, Jeff? MJ, Mary Jane, hello, OnlyPans. But yeah, that was a fun show, and it was nice to get away from the other granddaughter and love her, but she's a spoiled, rotten brat. But I love my stepson Brian and his wife. We get along real well. Actually, they've made some of my music I use for me too. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's nice having friends and family that are musicians.
No kidding. It's unique too, it's awesome.
Radio, how you doing, Ronald? You're late. And Ron Shaw, how you doing, Shaw's Mining? Hope you're doing better.
Terry.
Goodness, I
Bill Marsh.
David Villa.
David Villa.
I know it's good to see a lot of names that we've known for years and then fresh ones to us. So that's awesome.
Yeah, speaking of years, going back to Pirates Cove, it's hard to believe how long ago that actually was.
I know.
I used to love going there, because we would all go to dinner the last full night we were there. But yeah, we'd get out there. And some years it was like little ice we'd have to break open in the morning.
Oh, I remember going there. You guys were there on that trip too. We were all ice skating around and.
Yeah, we dredged in wetsuits and waders.
I didn't even have dive boots.
We didn't have dive boots.
I was just wearing the socks.
That's right, dive socks. And then I remember Caleb was there. Right, because he ripped his waders.
Caleb Bennington was on his birthday too, and man, I was right there when Dennis came out of the bushes. Dennis is, and anyone familiar with Dennis Dayton and birthdays, can
John
picture
Miller got
this.
that too. He got that.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, John Miller was there several times, and
you were flipping over bedrock pieces and stuff, and you found a cornflake, because I was like Cornflake Ed.
That's where you got your.
That's
name.
where I gave you your name. You found the cornflake.
Yeah, that was a nice piece, And I've had some good times there, but wherever that dump was, that was upriver. Oh my God. How many times I work a good crack and I'd see a flash in my pan and I'm like, wait a second.
Hey, somebody, I don't know if it was me or somebody.
Brass zipper.
Found a crack pipe.
I believe it.
I don't know who did it. I can't remember if it was me or somebody else.
Found
a crack pipe. It's
crack
like, wow.
pipe televisions and spark plugs.
But I found a lot of the old glass medicine bottles
Oh,
underneath
yeah.
a big rock.
That's what I miss about dredging in Ohio is
Found
finding
some
some
lot of weird
cool
stuff.
The other
trash.
treasures, right, Kathleen?
Yeah.
Yes,
You know?
yes. Like my office, like and the shelves behind me are full of really cool things.
Dredge
And
art.
I'm on Zoom all day for work, and people can see kind of like some of the stuff. Like I have an old pitchfork, the old metal pronged one behind me, and it's just on the shelf, and they're like, what is that? Where did you get that? What? A big old chain, rusty chain, and bunches of bottles, and they're like, that's so cool. And people, it's still fun to talk about, what you did.
Let
The
me
old
see. What's
bridges.
this? Rob, speaking of that time at band camp, gave Shad and Kathleen some unicorn pudding at an outing in Arizona before
That was White Gold.
CV happened.
Yeah.
That was
So the pudding he gave us, obviously sat out all day in the desert sun.
That stuff doesn't need to be refrigerated. It's the
It had a weird
you
taste.
know, the stuff that you get in the little cups.
The pudding cups.
And the reason why he gave, there's a backstory to that. The reason why he gave Shad and I that pudding was because I think that summer we have something out there. I think it's on our channel where we did a dredging on a unicorn float. We had I don't know, we found it at Walmart.
It was the float.
Yeah, we're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have so much fun with this, So we were dredging and we blew it up, and we just had it next to us while we were dredging, and then we did some funny footage of Shad.
It was a funny video, right?
It was like floating down the river with his little prickly pear Mick Ultra.
Mick Ultra that we bought. Yeah.
Know
Gotta
what's
hand
a funny video, Shad? The
Which one?
turkey.
Turkey.
Oh, the infamous.
turkey
Okay.
at the Wilson.
Yeah. So
That was my idea.
we posted
He
that
did.
on Prospectors Radio since we did it as a crew, right? The whole crew we got together to
That was fun.
Prospects.
That was a lot of fun.
And so there was this damn turkey. It was, it was, I don't know, wild, former pet of somebody's, whatever. But it would not leave the camp. It just stayed around us all day and night, the whole entire prolonged weekend. And it really got attached to Rich Cooley.
Oh yeah,
And
that
so
turkey loved Rich.
He would try to, perch himself up on Rich all the time.
The mating stomp.
Yeah,
next
the
to-
drumming and stuff. He would hop up on Rich's truck, on his tent, on his table. Like he really liked Rich. So we got this one idea one night after a day of dredging, and we were like, what would be funny? Let's shoot some crazy stuff. I think it was Kathleen's idea.
Yeah.
With this turkey, and we were always talking about doing what Benny
Hill.
Benny
It
Hill,
was.
yeah. And the
do,
music,
do,
like
do.
we should do it,
But we had to film it going really slow.
right? But what made that video hilarious, because it's always we did goofy stuff, was the turkey followed us the whole time and was part of it. Like you couldn't make that up. It was crazy.
The turkey became part of the video, and it was like it was meant to be. All the stars aligned for that crazy turkey video.
You felt bad leaving him, like because we all pulled out, and you just stood there looking like, where y'all going?
I think I cried.
Oh man,
I
my new family left me.
know.
He was probably having the time of his life, and then he's probably gone now, obviously.
But he's forever immortalized on YouTube, Facebook land, all that.
He's
So,
famous.
Yeah, it's too funny. That video is hilarious.
I will bring that out every Thanksgiving. I don't care.
Why gold? Besides prospecting, do either of you just go out and metal detect a park or a beach?
Well, we have attempted to before at the beach.
I found hairpins.
I found hairpins and junk.
And red ties.
We did go off of Florida, like one of those little underwater ones, which is fun. I still have it, but all I found was fishing lures, fishing weights, and like junk, like nothing
I
cool.
actually
But
saved those.
oh yeah,
They looked really
they're
cool. They were really cool looking, so I saved them.
And then that like I would love relic hunting. We haven't gone out and do that for a long time. And then our detectors, we got more gold oriented ones, and we actually keep those out in Arizona because we go detecting out there looking for gold.
Mhm.
So that's primarily
Have you
where we're
found
at
any decent stuff on your property out there?
well, nearby our property, yeah. Like, and I brought some out. It may be hard to show, but we found this little. I don't know how to make it better. They're little nuggets. So I found a nugget patch detecting there. I wish I had a white piece of paper, but I don't.
Yeah, if you had a paper behind it.
Yeah, he's got a piece of paper.
It may have lines in it, but let me see if that helps. There you go. Yeah,
push it a little closer, Shad.
A little closer.
A little more. Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, so I found all of those. It was funny. I'd get a hit on the detector, and I think Jimbo was there with us. He was like, "You better always check your hole after you find some gold out here in Arizona." We're like, "Okay." So I went back over. It kept going off, so I dug, found 2 more. I went and checked it, kept finding another one. It was like the gold clumped underneath this root ball of some type of desert plant that was pretty much buried because it was on the shelf of an old creek there that ran through there, dry wash, where we were dry washing. And sure enough, I mean, that's the one and only time I found gold with the detector, though. I haven't found any since, but it was awesome.
This is the closest I got to. Was it last year or the year before? We're still looking for a claim, by the way, out there. So it's 5 years in the making. But anyway,
you'll get in. I'm sure even if you're still living here, you'll work yours more than someone we know works his.
Well, we were out there, and I actually found a little gold in a rock on, it was near a lode mine actually, but it was already claimed, so I didn't want to high grade.
Yeah, we were like, we got really close because like I have an app I use out there that overlays stuff, and then we took, because we were trying to get to this one area for years, and it was like a full several day trip to get there and back, just because you had to pack everything in, and it took forever to get back there. And we knew there was a lot of miscellaneous claims scattered and about, and some of the areas, like, you're right on the line, but after, like, when I pulled up my satellite map and could see where we're at, and I marked where some of the claims were, we turned out we were just like 10 feet within their claim where we found it, so we had to put it back.
I know.
Yeah, and then when we went to the left, there was no
like,
ground.
We actually found
Do
someplace, but
you use X Hunt or OnX or whatever?
Yeah. So I actually use 2 different ones of theirs.
Topo.
Yeah, I do the Onyx Hunt and then also the Onyx Trails. I forget why, but I think it's because of the functions that one has, the other one doesn't. If I remember, like, one actually has really good topography maps that you can do an overlay with, which is useful out there. And then the other one's just good for your marking your track for your trails and tracking where you go.
Check out CalTopo.
CalTopo?
Yeah,
okay.
and watch some of Matt Hosper's
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Hosper stuff on LiDAR. I think there's even free, there's like a LiDAR function on CalTopo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as we found out, like, when you're trying to find unclaimed ground, right,
harder.
around, it's really difficult. It's so much research
that
and preparation.
one, you can actually see it from our property.
Yeah,
like
just can't get
straight
to it that
shot,
way.
but you have to take a really roundabout way to get there because of
Right.
all the.
Gotta go
the
around the
weeds.
mountain.
But you could
if you had
actually
a
see it.
donkey,
Yes.
you could pack stuff in that way, but you could never take like an
Donkey.
ATV or side by side because it's just so overgrown, and you'd spend a whole summer clearing a path.
That was the last.
Maybe one day you two
big
will
trip.
have a couple of mules and stuff.
I know.
I'm telling you, when
Mules
I moved
are
out
more
there, I'm gonna get a donkey.
sure-footed for trail riding than a
Yeah.
horse, and they
Yep.
carry a bit more. I don't know about a donkey though. They can be stubborn like Shetland
They're
ponies.
stubborn asses.
Right,
used to
right. They are stubborn asses, aren't they? I see you answered Ron Shaw's question about
I'm trying to
videos.
multitask. Yeah, we're on a lot of footage, sitting on a ton of footage.
Gosh, we got, like,
So
a lot.
we need to refocus and try to get to work and put some videos out. So it's on the plan to try to get back to it this year and put stuff out, as well as get back out prospecting, because we inadvertently took a hiatus last year from getting out and doing any real mining. Dealing with
that happens
personal
with
things,
jobs
travel
and
for family,
life.
and yeah.
Well, we took an
So-
epic trip for our 10-year
Yeah, that too.
anniversary,
That-
so we saved our money for
We had to
that.
save
Yeah,
our money
but
for that.
wasn't that a cruise?
Well, we spent
We
a
went to
few days
Nashville.
in Napa for wine country for her.
Oh yeah, I do.
And then-
I was telling
went
you
on
to
a
check out
16-day cruise.
Calistoga Geyser right
Yes,
in
yes.
Calistoga. Did you go there?
No, we
No.
couldn't make it.
No, it's
We were like,
Oh, we're going back.
not
we're gonna
far
go back,
from
though.
Napa. I believe it's
I know.
part of
but
the same
everything
valley,
was like
really.
planned already. I wish I would have known ahead of time, though. I would have.
There's also a
it is.
petrified forest.
Yeah.
not
Oh no, I
far
was
from it.
reading that one. Yeah.
We are gonna go back, though. We're gonna
That's
see
a
his
pretty
mom.
cool place too, but Calistoga guys are
Oh, I
Old
know. I would
Faithful of
love to see that.
Calistogas. It's not huge. It's not like Old Faithful at Yellowstone or nothing, but it's cool.
I haven't
Yeah.
even seen Yellowstone, so I would think it was cool anyway. It'd
It-
be
it-
like the
it
best
is
geyser I've ever
cool.
seen.
And it ain't a big petrified forest there too, but still, it's really cool, Kathleen.
That's
Cool.
neat.
Just
That's cool.
next time you get into the wine country of California,
For sure.
put it on that list.
I am. I'm definitely going to do that because I planned the itinerary for Napa because everything had to be timed because we only had a short window and then we had to hop on the boat to get across the Pacific.
The
But
man,
yes,
the
we're
myth, the
taking
legend, Kenny. How you doing, Mountain Man Ken? Good to see
Oh
you.
wow.
Thomas is wondering, when are you all going to Arizona again?
So yeah, we're still planning out the time. We at least go once, usually twice a year.
twice a year.
Last year we ended up for family,
Mhm.
to my parents to help them out with some things. So we weren't able to work out, getting out there and exploring really, except for maybe like a joyride we did one time. But yeah, I think probably that more than likely sometime in the fall for sure. I don't know if we'll be able to
September.
before summer. As we found out, it's just too rough to get out exploring in the summertime.
It's
out
hot.
there.
Too doggone
It's
hot.
absolutely, yeah.
Now,
Well, you
now,
Just stayed in the pool the last time we were.
Yeah, we just got drunk in the pool.
Ronald wants to know, will you have outings on your property?
Well, yeah, you probably could once we get out there. Really what we found while, there's gold all through there. We haven't really done too much checking all our land there, but I mean, you're like, well, right behind us is BLM land.
Right.
There's two old mines, like within less than a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
One of them's actually there is a operation right next to it going. Last time I checked, and there's several other actual big mines working out there too. So, but it's such cool property. I mean, you just gotta be careful out there because Arizona, you got private property mixed with state trust land, mixed with BLM land. So you got to know where you're going, and it's random. Like you'll cross over into
Then
one
you'll
or
have
the other.
reservation land too.
Yeah. Yep, nearby. Yeah. So that's why you need to use those offline maps that give you that type of data, which I know the Onyx Hunt one does, to make sure, one, you're not trespassing private property, or,
Right.
state trust land has different type of things you're allowed and what you're not allowed to do in terms of
What are
mining.
those maps? SIG
Yeah.
or GIS?
GIS. Yeah. Typically the survey maps. So.
Right. Those are great, and that's pretty much what Onyx is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Plus Onyx, the thing I like about there, like being in Arizona, if you're there during fire season, they update it where all the fires are, where stuff's moving. So you get warnings. It's also obviously the original intention was hunting. So it'll put a lot of game information on there too, whatever hunting district you're in there. And it'll have like
then
data.
you'll have the fish
Yeah.
and game information there, so that
Yeah,
could
that's
be helpful.
all out there is really good quail hunting. There's some deer, but a lot of other stuff's further up, like north, elk and things like that. So not really close.
Right.
We got Lake Pleasant not too far away. We can see it from our land, so there's all the fishing there you can do. And then there's cows, but you can't eat them.
Apparently, I met Clifton at Gold Rush days. I talked to a lot of people at Gold Rush days. It's one of those kind of events. He says Cal Topo is good for prospecting with the LiDAR and metal detecting with the historical topo maps back to 1885.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I haven't dove into my app a lot, but
yeah, I'll check out that app for sure.
Why Gold says they do have donkey adoption programs in Arizona. So if you want to adopt a donkey,
you get to take it home with you, or do you just that's my donkey and drive away? I don't know.
You get a little picture in the mail for $19 a month. You adopt a donkey.
Right. It's like the orphan you sponsor in Africa. Africa or South America. Here's the picture of the.
Write me letters.
Right. Ronald wants to know: do you ever run into Jeff Williams while you're out there?
Us?
He's up in Nevada. We never mind up in Nevada. Like Jeff comes down into.
He goes to the Oatman area a lot.
He goes to the Oatman a lot. Yeah,
that's
pulled down.
Where's you're in the Bradshaw range.
Yeah.
Which side of the Bradshaw? Are you on the west, east?
West.
Okay,
West, yeah.
You're closer, but still, that's a long ways.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, everything's a long ways in Arizona. Like you don't realize until you get there, man. It's like there's no short trip anywhere.
I used to live in Bullhead City. Well, actually, Riviera, right on the Colorado River.
Nice.
And I working construction during the day from 3 in the morning till noon. Then I'd go take a dip in the Colorado, go shower. Then I was a bar back at Circus Edgewater Casino in Laughlin, Nevada.
Oh, wow.
And that's before they had the bridge from Bullhead City to Laughlin. So you had to park in the parking lot, take the ferry over there, and get into work. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Shoot, I, in
Huh.
very early 20s.
Oh wow.
Ski Searcher, how you doing, Matt? Good to see you. Yeah, they let you take home a wild burro after it's been tamed. You must have land in order to be qualified, Rob says.
Interesting.
All right. Why Gold? Why are you giving Kathleen ideas?
Interesting.
Don't be giving her ideas. Oh,
You could have your koi pond, you could have your wild donkey out there, maybe a couple of sheeps to keep the tumbleweeds at bay.
The koi pond's starting to make me very, very nervous. Especially with the water situation.
she's
Right.
very attached to her koi.
I am.
Thomas
I don't
says,
know
we
why.
went to the Grand Canyon last year. It was a 6-hour trip from Phoenix.
Yeah. My
Thomas usually goes in March.
yeah, I think he goes in
Yeah.
March.
That's
Yeah.
what he was saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, we definitely can't make it that early.
We have to
But
try.
it would be a blast to go because one, I would like to try out Thomas's was it the GPZ's 6000 that he has, the fancy one. I have a 5000, which it's like walking around with the whole harnessed giant battery pack, and you get tangled up on everything.
We can't take him anywhere.
And then, but I did get, well, I got her one year a gold monster.
I love my gold ones.
And then
nice.
I was like, when the GPAA had like, hey, get a lifetime membership and we'll give you, and I like did all the pricing. They give you like some gold, not as much as they said they would, but that's an argument I'll never let go of.
Right.
But I got another gold monster, for me to use. So it's so nice to have it because those are great little machines. I love them.
I've heard a lot of good about it. Jesse used
Yeah.
a gold monster when we went out to the mother load. I used my Equinox 800, which I did pretty good, I have to say, one day. Yeah.
Oh, shot down those nuggets with the gold monster.
Yeah, it was with what, Jimbo's gold monster, or was it or was it yours?
Gold Monster's a
No.
great machine from what I understand.
It's easy. It's easy. Like it like that's the problem with the 5000. You need a degree to operate it and understand it to really maximize the potential. Now, what makes that 6000? So it's it's an onboard computer, all automated and stuff. So it takes out a lot of like having to tweak a lot of the settings.
Right.
Like you have to do 5000. It's pretty much, I swear, like plug and play and just go. And that's what the gold monster is nice, because you don't have to be like some of those other ones, like the gold bugs are a little different, but they're great machines too. I just think gold monster is just easy.
Well, when you have to walk,
And it's
hike
light.
in tight places
Yeah.
where there's no paths and climbing up the side of a mountain, it's a great one to carry.
Yeah, it's lightweight.
Thomas
like
found
it.
his first nubbits with a monster.
Yeah, well, he better find some more. He's got to pay that machine off.
Stop
Yeah,
missing
Right,
bars.
that's $1,000 machine for
that's several. That's like what, 6000? Isn't that how they
For the
price it by the
monster?
number?
I don't know.
No, for the 6000. I think the
Oh.
monsters is what, 9, or did they raise it to like 1,000?
Well, I thought when it first came out it was like 1,000.
Yeah.
But
Great
yeah, the 6,000. Oh my God, yeah, you're talking. It's probably a $6,000 machine. Geez. But
Yeah,
damn,
looks like David was Alphonse.
Alphonsetti art.
There you go. He said what, the Equinox 800 with the 6-inch coil does really good at finding
That's
gold
what
too.
I found my nuggets
So-
with in California. That right there.
Really?
The Knox
Nice.
800 prospecting 1 mode with the 6-inch coil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Michael, that's why I like the gold monster, because it's so easy for me to use. I'm not a metal detectorist, and I don't even claim to be a professional. I'm a treasure.
Well, don't it tell
All
you ferrous, non-ferrous?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
you just
pretty much.
there's not all this like balancing and all that. I mean, it's so easy to use. Like, easiest metal detector ever.
Yeah. Then you got Thomas in there saying the $6,600.
Well, he.
You know, is that what you told
He corrected
told your wife?
himself.
His wife's awesome, by the way. We got to meet her and mine with her, dredge with her in Alaska when they came out.
He took her on a trip, huh?
Oh yeah.
And she was out
She
there
was awesome.
mining right next
Yep.
to him,
Right on.
chucking rocks.
Well,
Trying to keep her and me, Thomas and me in line. That's for sure.
no matter how much
Yelling
we
at
love
both of us.
Thomas and respect that man, the woman that he has to, the woman that puts up with a man like Thomas has to be a great gal, right?
So we'll show a little gold porn real quick from that trip to Alaska that we did with Thomas.
Jeff Miller, are you in the house? Gold porn,
make
gold porn.
I know. There we go. So this one's over an ounce. Little that we of
Remember
gold.
that, Thomas?
Gold we found dredging in Alaska, and then we smelted it right there on Creekside or Riverside, technically.
Riverside.
Yeah. So it's got some good weight to
And
it.
that's on the 40-mile
cleaned up the
river,
slag.
right?
Yep.
What
Yep.
outfit is that?
Gold fever prospecting.
Yeah.
Chicken Alaska.
I don't know if I got them back on my friends list after my account got hacked last year. I wouldn't mind getting them on the show. Have you ever been to Skookum Gold Camp?
No.
Oh, they'll be on the show here next month or something.
Oh, that's cool. Like we didn't go on like at Chicken Gold Camp, which is also in Chicken, Alaska. It's right there off of the highway in town, but we did stay 1 year in one of their cabins for a night because of really bad weather.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice cabins.
They also got a big dredge there. You can walk around it and take a look
One of
at
those old
river dredges.
ones.
Oh, the big bucket lines?
Yeah,
Those
bucket
are
line.
cool.
Really neat.
If
Yeah,
you're
there's
ever
one
in Eastern Oregon, stop by Sumter, Oregon, in it's I don't think it's in Baker County, but it's in the gold fields in Eastern Oregon. Sumter has a rich mining history and still have a bucket line dredge there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Ray Rusa in the house.
Oh, Razor.
Ray.
It's
Hello.
good to see you, buddy.
It's been a minute.
A lot of familiar faces and some new ones in the house. Gotta love it.
Awesome. No.
Did you see that comment from our friend Wheeler? Where is it? He tagged you guys. You missed the GPS Christmas song, but don't worry, we didn't get any better without you.
We did go back and listen to it, after Christmas. We're proud they continued that tradition on without us.
I feel honored.
I see you answered him.
Yeah.
But hey, I gotta say, our Scottish friend did a real good deal on the night before Christmas. The reading of the night before Christmas. Yeah.
With the poem?
else we got to show? I guess
Oh,
we could
goodness.
do another gold porn.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice
Hey,
gold.
you know the crowd here, Shad. you
Yeah, I
know.
mean,
We
I
don't
even
like.
got a cool piece of silver to show everyone too in a little bit
Ooh.
too. I keep using my background. I really should have got like a plain piece of
Well,
paper
you have these. Oh,
that you can't
this
see.
is
They're
real.
transparent. So it's so hard to hold.
Don't drop it.
There you go. So this here is 37.2 ounces from Alaska.
Ooh,
Now,
nice.
we didn't find this, but we traded gold we found for it that we found in Alaska.
Our fine gold.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
fine gold. So
Because this is what you trade.
yeah,
That's heavy.
this one's heavy.
That
Nice, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Are you gonna smelt
fine
that
gold.
down and put it in bars
Well,
since it's your
we-
fines?
I don't
we
know.
just add it to the others.
We may, like we've always talked about, like we've done one gold bar, right? A 1 ounce bar.
You lose a lot of gold when you do that.
And well, there's a lot of impurities in gold, naturally.
Yeah,
Depending where you're at, you may have higher concentrations of other impurities.
right.
But here's one. I guess I better do this. This is this little bar that we smelted from gold. It was our first attempt at smelting gold. So it's a nice little gold bar. It's cracked, wasn't done perfectly,
Nice.
but for our first time.
First time.
But it was a learning experience, that's for sure. And I don't know. We talked about just adding and building a bigger bar.
Yeah, I want a really big bar, so we're collecting.
Right now we're hoarding.
We're hoarding
We're
it.
hoarding gold.
So there won't be any wandering buffalo pay dirt bags on the market at all in the future.
You never know.
I
I
have
mean-
a ton of that Alaskan
Oh, black
black
sand.
sand. I mean, a ton of it. Like every year, I'm like, I keep saying I'm gonna go through it, but I don't. It's just added up.
You should still have my address, Kathleen.
Mhm.
So.
There's a lot.
Yeah, this is like ultra dredge cons, right? And it's
Right.
still loaded
There's a lot
with
of gold in it
really
still.
tiny flour gold. But it, when we cleaned up a smaller amount of it, we pulled 3 ounces out, or 3 grams, excuse me. 3 ounces, that'd be awesome. We go back through that.
Right.
But you can actually see the gold in the black sands.
You're looking at the container and you can still see the
still
gold.
see it, but it's so hard to separate because this is stuff that's went through multiple cleanup sluices, went through the Blue Bull, went through shaker tables,
Right.
and it's still the heavies
Yeah.
from it. And so, it's just some ultra fine stuff, but it's still gold.
Knock on wood, though, we were lucky that we didn't get into a patch of mercury.
That contaminated everything.
Yeah, some people got into the mercury patches.
Now,
Yeah.
is that mercury? I know there's probably a lot of mercury in the area from the old timers.
Yeah.
But are
Yeah.
there any cinnabar deposits in the area also?
Not that I'm aware of. No,
Okay,
it was
so
mostly
it's all was
old timers.
all came
So
from
where-
old timers.
Yeah, so that part of the river where they're at, not too far away, I think, I honestly want to say about a quarter mile upstream is where the old mining town of Franklin, which we put a video out about it.
I
Franklin,
think I saw
Alaska.
that one.
Yeah, so that one, it was when gold was found during the period of the Yukon Gold Rush, right? And so they were, people are exploring other tributaries off the Yukon, and they got to that area, and they found deposits of gold. There's bucket line dredges along that river. In fact, what makes Matt and Ginger's property, their claims there, so unique, the bucket line dredge was coming up to their section of claims, and it stopped.
Ooh.
It never went any further, right? So, and then you could see the remnants from when it, they burned it and left it,
In the old bucket.
And the old bucket's still there, actually on their claim that got washed down.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So,
Yeah.
so some people, depending where they're dredging, especially on one side, not too far away where the immediate camp is, that's where a lot of people will find coarser gold versus a lot of the ultra fines, and they'll find actual little nuggets, and it's really dark colored.
In the garnets,
and jumbo
are like
garnets,
huge, the big round ones.
Big
and then
garnets,
mercury.
huh?
So if you ever find mercury in your gold that you're dredging, separate it quickly and keep it separated, or else it's going to spread and coat. And I mean, you can take care of it, but be careful.
But
So
it will coat your other gold pretty quick.
it's weird. But
So weird how it does that.
Well, we didn't directly, because we worked with Jimbo on this, using some actual mercury to try to separate gold from the ultra fines cons. And it was cool to do
that thing.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
You have it separated, I think.
Yeah, but it's the gold.
We got some gold out of it.
Even though we put it through the retort and everything, it looks different than any other gold. It's weird. It kind of just changed the color of it a little bit.
Platinum.
Yeah, it's very odd looking.
I think it looks like platinum.
But it was still neat to do.
Maybe white gold.
Yep, I need to put the chat back up.
Clifton says it's not hoarding, it's stacking.
Yeah, I know.
Try
because
a
we are
black
the
magic table.
But because we're the Wandering Buffaloes, right?
Right.
So this was actually cool to come across a while back ago from one of those places. It's 1,000 milligrams, so a gram, I think it is.
We got that at a gold show.
No, I got this off of one of the bullion dealers. Because we would get, for like giveaways, we would buy those gold backs, and then they had one time. I was like, oh, cool, let's get that for us, and keep. So we kept it. Yeah, I think it's 1 gram. And then
Nice.
but then of course, when we're doing really active with the Wandering Buffaloes, you had to get your copper round. I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry. There he goes. Right. And then we were like, oh, we got somebody, I forget where we came across or got this.
Oh, the silver.
The silver buffalo round. Right. And then it's like, it'd be cool one day to get the buffalo gold round. So we saved up and did that. It's so hard. There you go. Right. So that's the 1 ounce. Oops. 1 ounce buffalo gold round. So we got the, I guess now we need platinum, palladium, rhodium, all of them, right?
One day you very well might. Now I remember years ago. It's hard to imagine that now. Really, time flies. Where Kathleen was on fire, bit by the gold bug, on fire. She was a woman on a mission. And if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong though, Shad, you could take it or leave it at that time. My honey loves doing that. I'm here for the ride.
Yep.
Is that about it?
That's how it all started.
Now, okay, here's the big but. When did you, Shad, really get bit by the gold bug and dove into it as much as your awesome wife has?
Yeah, so backing up a little, Kathleen, one winter, right? It was really cold. And
it was this time of year, actually.
This time of year. And, before bed, she's sitting there watching YouTube videos, right? Just searching random stuff, right? And she came across something about gold in the Midwest in Ohio. And she stumbled on, it was Dennis, right? Dennis Dayton, the Indiana Gold Hunter videos, right? And she goes, "This guy's silly." And then of course, Kathleen's mind is unique. She always nerds out. That's what I call it, right? So she'll get an idea in her head and gets fascinated by something. Well, then she goes all in trying to learn about it, right? And so all the next thing you know, for several days, she's just going on and on and on about, hey, there's gold here in Ohio. Did you know that? And I'm like, bull crap, there's no gold here. And then, you know, we go back and forth talking, and then, but she's like continuing to look into this, and I wasn't even aware. And she finds out about the GPA, the Buckeye chapter.
Right.
And she was like, and she contacts them. And so she finds out, oh yeah, you can come visit and feel free, you know, to check us out and, you know, go in the water. So we come there and it's like a meeting and we're just kind of like sitting there and, you know, there's Tim Grimes talking about a radio show and we're like, what the heck is going on here? And
you there.
we met, I think, yeah, we saw you and we're just kind of like these outsiders sitting there. And then, so she signs up and, you know, we don't have a clue what the hell we're doing.
Wasn't that a OSPA meeting and not a...
No, it was the Buckeye chapter.
Okay,
yeah.
because I do remember first me seeing you guys at the OSPA meeting too, at like Bass Pro or something.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
south
we
of
went
your
there later.
house.
That was
Okay.
later.
Yeah, we checked that out and then joined them.
Well, you're
So-
skipping ahead because we would venture on our own.
Yeah, it was a hot
We had
mess.
no idea what we were doing. We
So-
would just like find a random creek and try to find gold.
Well, first we would be at the Swank claim,
Right.
go out there and we'd have a shovel, the classifier and pan. No, not there yet. You're jumping way ahead. And so we're sitting there thinking we're doing it right, you know, and we're not, right? We got hardly any material and we're trying to pan, but we have zero panning skills. You know, you're a hot mess when you first start. But one little piece, and I'm talking the tiniest of a fly poop
I
piece,
was proud of that.
and
piece.
she flips out. Right? I mean, you could swear she hit, you know, a massive gold strike.
Woo-hoo!
Right? And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, what, you know, like, how much is this? Yeah, you're stupid. You don't know any better. You're like, but anyway, like it took me a while, but I started to get fascinated because I was always more of relics, archaeology, history, right? That's always been my passion.
That's all cool too.
And so I was like, oh, that's cool. We can dig in and learn a little bit about the history. And so I started becoming more active to support her interest. And then we started learning from people at the you know, in the Buckeye chapter who were gracious to
And
share.
then we found out about the OS.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would say I was always like, man, just digging with the shovel and putting in a pan and buckets. Like, this isn't productive. There's got to be more efficient. So then we got a high banker. Well, I traded Dennis what?
Traded him
A fire.
straight up.
I traded him straight up, like a revolver for a high banker dredge combo, right?
Okay.
This is evenly valued both ways. And I'm like, this is cool, right? And so, and we were down at the Double D.
Yeah, we got to try out Tim's.
Well,
dredge.
okay, Jesus, we're jumping.
Yeah.
So
that's
Tim
when we really
Grimes.
got the gold.
All right. So here's Tim Grimes, how we first met him, right? The beginning of a long friendship.
I used to call in on the radio show.
And so we talked to him and he was like, yeah, I'll meet you guys out there and I'll bring my dredge, because he had a little backpack, the King.
Right, I have it now.
Yeah, you have it. And she has her still. Great little machines. And so he shows up in this, you know, van, and the dredge is back there. And so we put it in the creek and she's like sold. Like, this is amazing. This is awesome. And I'm like, you know,
That was it.
and I tried it and I was like, this is actually very enjoyable and fun. This is a lot more productive. You can move a lot more material, even with the little 2-inch, you know, you're like holding this little nozzle, right?
Mhm.
And then we were like, well, we obviously didn't at the time have money to buy our own dredge. So that's when talking with Dennis through the show and then online, because she would call in, I want it. and talk on their live shows.
Fun of me.
I made fun
He
of.
made fun of me.
And so Dennis is like, I'll come to you guys. We joined the OSPA. So we went to the Double D claim. Dennis showed up. He brought his high breaker. And we were just talking about stuff one night at the fire.
Take a break, but don't go far. Gold fever's burning like a shooting star. Grab a snack, stretch it out. Still more stories to talk about. Shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high. Treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night, hang out live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold. From lost mines to rivers wide, prospectors digging side by side. Old time stories, brand new finds. Gold and treasure, history shines. Shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high. Treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night, hang out live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold.
And I was like, about some of my other passion, collecting, old rifles, pistols, revolvers and stuff, and collecting them. And so then we got to talking. I was like, so we traded straight up, right? And then so we're sitting in the creek, we're just loving it, right? We had to duct tape our hose because it had a lot of holes, go figure. But from there, that's where I really, because after we got down there in the southern Ohio, that's where a lot of the glaciers pushed all this material and stopped. And there's a good fish hook, if anyone studies the geology in Ohio of those glaciers and the old glacial lake, it looks like a little fish hook, right? And so you got the Double D, you got, the Bill/Wilson claim that used to be available down there, all the way up to Paint Creek and stuff that hooks up in the, northward a little bit. But there's really nice coarse gold there. You can actually find legit pickers and actually, start accumulating, some gold.
Some of these are from
so
Ohio. Which ones are from Ohio?
Well, minus this big one. The other
minus the big one.
So the big one was our first picker we ever found in Indiana. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Come on.
PC.
Now, where'd you find that at in Indiana?
So we were in Brown County. It was private property. We got permission to go on. We found that picker. The other two pieces were actual found in Ohio, our first pickers. So we've kept a lot of our first meaningful pieces of stuff wherever we go and find gold. We keep that. And in the past, we've sold some gold. We did a lot of pay dirts over the years too, and then we donated some to the Gold Prospector Space show and other things too.
Right.
But we've always kept the more meaningful, like your first picker,
nugget.
first nugget, your first nugget patch. Stuff
the first
on
nugget patch.
Yeah. Oh wait, the only nugget. So, and then
you
the other thing
we have your merit badges now. You two.
Yeah. So we've gotten to, but it was then really getting my hands on actual equipment, moving materials. like once you actually see a pan of like even just a gram of loose fine gold that you found after all weekend in Ohio, doesn't sound like much, but for in Ohio, it was legit work. Good job.
That's
Right.
because it's cheaper.
Yeah. And then you go to Alaska and you find, multiple things of these in one trip. You're ruined for life, right?
It's ruined.
Like you're like, unless you're pulling in this, you're like, is it
okay,
worth it?
But
You know?
listen, I love the camping. I love the camaraderie, but the gas, I don't know, that killed me this year.
The
Last
gas,
couple
right?
Last couple years. So
I have to agree with you on that. Ray Russo wants to know what you guys are drinking.
oh well, mine's
Well,
almost gone.
Yeah, almost
I
around
need
two.
Manhattans tonight.
Well, which bourbon did you use though?
I use the Bardstown Green Label.
Okay, so she used Bardstown bourbon, the rye. So that's a great green barrel, green
And
label.
I make I'm in the bitters business on the side of their botanical bitters that I make from all organic herbs and roots and stuff like that. So I made a black walnut fig bitter that I make for the cocktails. So I made the Manhattan tonight. It was really lovely.
Her recipe. It's
There
legit
you are,
good.
Ray.
There you go. But it's good.
With the cherry.
With the cherry. You got it. Well, you got it. If you're going to drink it, like you learn this if you go do any tours down in bourbon country, some people like there's only one type of cherry to ever get, like as far as any type of bourbon drinks that they make down there. And it's Luxardo cherries, right? Really good.
Oh, wow. Here's the flash from the past.
Oh,
Just
David
walked
Bogan.
into our chat room. David Bogan, my friend. How are you?
David has been on a lot of our adventures.
David's a great guy.
He was one of our first Wandering Buffalo followers, right? For our prospecting adventures.
We love
And
He came all the way up from Georgia
came
to
all the way
Pirates
to
Cove.
Nashville. Yeah. Well, first he came to the Nashville show to meet us.
That's where I met him at.
Yeah, him and Nita, right? And you know what? They are fabulous, fabulous couple, and people, great people. And then, yeah, they came up to Ohio for, I think, one of the Prospector radio outings we had in Southern Ohio, the Pirates Cove.
Yeah.
Adventure. He came.
No, that was Indiana.
It was Bill's too, another one. Yeah. And he's a heck of a, cook too, man. To this day.
All right. Tic Tac guy, your adventures are awesome. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. We have a lot more, but we're kind of like we're slackers.
We're slackers. We're slackers.
Well,
but real quick before we show gold again, I'm going to show a piece of silver, right? Because we talked about beaches and detecting. We didn't find it.
We didn't find this.
This one here is from the 1715 fleet.
Oh, nice.
I got it from Carl Fismer.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Fizz,
Carl,
if you know him, right?
Fizz. Yeah, he's been on the show before too.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude, man. He's still hanging in there doing his thing. But yeah, we picked that up from him that he legit found diving on those wrecks. And what's cool, this is a couple years ago. There's my name, but you get the cool little certification, that he found it.
His certificate of authentication.
Yeah, the Spanish fleet, man, 1715.
Nice. Yeah, he was really cool on the GPS radio show, and then he was an excellent guest on this show. Quite the guy, quite the character.
Yeah. Oh, he's got amazing stories. I mean, come on. I mean, he dove on, wrecks with Mel Fisher. So if anybody that has ever, just look him up, Mel Fisher.
If I remember right,
massive amount of gold from the Ochoa and other things out there off the Florida Keys, and it's unreal. Then of course all off the coast of Florida, where the 1715 fleet, which is not we literally camped on that beach. I forget one of the forts, not Fort Pierce, I think
Yeah.
it was, right off the coast there, is nearby where he found it. So,
Nice.
but yeah, great stories, man. I mean, he's got books published.
We went down to see that
videos.
museum too.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Keys. That was pretty
The Mel
cool.
Fisher.
Oh, the Mel Fisher Museum. It's
Yes.
on my want to
Oh,
go.
it's
I have
it's
it
really
marked
cool.
on my map as want to see if I ever get down to the Keys. I'm not a big Florida person.
Yeah, I hate the humidity and the myself.
And during
COVID.
COVID, and there was nobody.
Well, we took the camper.
We drove.
We drove from Ohio with the camper and our two sons, Shane and Skylar at the time.
We took a road
And so
trip.
we stopped at campgrounds all the way down and
We
along
actually
the
stopped
coast.
at Fort Pierce.
Fort Pierce is where we stayed one night, and then
That's where I picked up the sand fleas.
yeah, sand fleas really bad at night. And then we went all the way to one of the keys. We didn't stay in Key West. I forget which other one it was, but it was two keys over. But it was one. It's beautiful down there. It's a different type of Florida. Obviously, there's no beaches, minus one small man-made one, because it's all coral. Water sports are what you go to visit, but you gotta check out Mel Fisher's museum there to see a lot of the artifacts, the gold, the silver, cannons, and other items that they show there, as well as they're still continuing to find stuff on those wrecks. So they do have some behind the scenes of them preserving.
The best part was like your drone. You would love the drone pics.
Oh, it's beautiful down there.
Take your when you go down there, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, you gotta check it out. It's
yeah, I wouldn't mind going there, and if I was gonna go to it'd be Mel Fisher's museum that would get me there, because that'd be cool, and they went through so much stuff for that treasure.
Oh, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, Captain Fizz he's awesome. The stories, it's fascinating to hear. I mean, it'd be unreal to find yourself. Good luck. I mean, most people go bankrupt, but I mean, what a cool thing to be a part of over the years. So he loves talking about it and sharing the info. So, but yeah, we treasure that.
Says, oh, I'm sorry, Shad.
No, you're good.
Tic Tac guy goes, Sebastian was just north of Fort Pierce. They also have a Mel Fisher museum.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that at all. Yeah. Very, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Juno Beach and Sebastian. Okay.
Yeah, and there's also, is it Fort Pierce? Is that where the UDT museum is? So the birthplace is basically the Navy SEALs, right? Their museum. I want to say it's there too. It might be one of the other ones nearby. I can't remember.
Now,
but that part of Florida's got so much history. So
I really like the St. Augustine area.
Yeah, oh, we do too.
The history there,
and that was a beautiful city. I liked it.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, yeah, because I never realized razors. My beard's turning gray.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
I'm turning gray as well.
It happens, man. You might as well just go with it, right?
We're getting older.
I know. I was always the young one. But I guess I still am.
You still technically are.
I'm just older now, but I'm still younger.
The age when I started prospecting.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's SEAL Museum. Thanks, Tic Tac guy. Yeah, I love the history there in St. Augustine, because I mean that was the first. That's the oldest settlement in the United States, technically, by the Spanish. And there's still a lot of stuff preserved. There's that old fort there because we walked the perimeter of it when we visited. It's just, I love the history. Razor, dog. What else do we got to show here? Well, we do have some bigger nuggets from California, not found. Sorry. We traded some of our fine gold to Gold Bay.
Yeah, if you have fine gold and you don't want to hold on to the fine pieces.
He was needing some fine gold for some pay dirt.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like,
he'll get it.
I got some. We'll trade it straight up, dude. So he hooked us up there with over an ounce of nice giant nuggets.
Nice.
Big ones. And then we did splurge one year. Because if anyone knows Gold Bay, right?
Yeah, Dave from Gold Bay.
Yep. But he sells a lot of specimens too, in various gold of different sizes. But it's obviously the crystalline gold.
Well, he's mining that too himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a mine.
He has one of the mines there.
You have the
he got sick of the cold weather in Spokane.
To Mexico.
I don't blame him.
And moved. Now he's in the mother lode, I believe.
Yeah, he's got there's the Colorado quartz mine. I think don't quote me on which one's hers. And one of these came from the Eagle. The Eagle mine or something, Eagle quartz. No, that's Amra thing. Shannon's and company.
Yeah, now.
But it's hard to see, and it sucks because pictures and video do not do this piece justice.
I know.
Right? So it's still sitting in quartz. It's pretty fragile.
Well, the quartz is blending into the paper.
Yeah, I know. So in the center is the quartz. See my fat, nasty fingers? Sorry. I'm trying to angle this so you can see different sides of it.
Fingernails now.
I know I do, and they see this horrible number ledger thing. But that was one piece we bought from them.
Give me a second. Let me move some stuff. Get me. I want to blow it up so they all could see it. Okay, show it again, Shad.
I know. I wish actually. Hang on. Let me.
Hold on one sec.
I got a black. You're so smart.
I know.
Should have been doing this the whole damn time. My bad.
Okay.
I'll get a little closer if it'll focus. I may have to pull it back.
It's try and focus. Boy, that's a beauty, Shad.
Oh, it's amazing piece. I mean, its value is as a specimen versus the weight.
Oh yeah.
I think it's only like a half an ounce technically in gold weight.
Probably cost you about an ounce worth. It's beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Beautiful crystal.
He gave us a good deal. It wasn't quite an ounce.
I don't ever get to see these.
Yeah.
We lock them away, but
yeah, the other one we got from it's a little different type. And again, it's a different style of the gold. And so I'll do my best to hold it. I wish I had some tweezers down here.
No.
I don't know if I have it in my little thing. Yeah, I do actually.
He has tweezers.
I'm trying.
You always keep tweezers in your gold box, right? I mean,
yeah.
Let me see. That way you don't have to stare at my nasty fingers. Well, you still do. My bad. So this one here is also another type of crystal gold. It's all stacked on like little cubes.
If you can see them.
Yeah, I'm trying to
bring it in a little closer. Oh, it's trying to sharpen up. Oh,
I know.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
It's really cool. It's like a whole popcorn kernel or popcorn, right? But it's got some good weight to that one. But it's yeah.
I'm kind of ashamed to show you my manicured nails.
But those are cool. And like he offers it up constantly for sale.
Listen
Plus,
to you.
he's actually who we also traded the gold for, the bigger the bigger nugget from Alaska, that 37 grammer.
Right.
So yeah, he can hook you up. That's for sure.
If you're looking to unload some of your fine gold and make them bigger pieces.
Which Gold Bay does great pay dirt. They do.
Well,
I pan for gold. Right.
If anyone asks me who to buy from, it's Dave's there, Michael's there, ipanforgold.com. Yes.
Yep.
Plus,
And then
plus.
Dirt Hog. That one's always good too.
Yeah, they're out of Canada though, and
Canada. It's a long time to get it, yeah.
But
they're at least trustworthy.
Right, right. And definitely Dave from Gold Bay.
So
Mike
Gold Bay,
Vendetta from Vendetta Prospecting, I'd put him on that list too.
Yeah.
Now,
so
speaking of Jimbo, I know whatever happened to that guy?
He's still very much active out there, right? He's a mad scientist, I'll put it that way. So we still meet up. We go exploring and mining with him.
We travel around with him when we're looking for a
claim and stuff. Yep.
So we travel a lot with him.
And he gets other people together. We all go out together in a big group sometimes.
I don't know if I got him back on my list after my account got hacked when I came back from my mom's funeral last. Oh wow, 2 Christmases ago.
Oh wow, yeah. He's also into like machinery. Like he's got a heck of a workshop he's been putting together over the past couple years. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, he's still, he tries to get out between hunting and mining, prospecting, and exploring and everything else. But
last year he didn't go to Alaska either.
Yeah, he was pretty much told after 5 years or so of going to Alaska all summer.
No, he wasn't. You don't know that.
He had to tell you, he took the family. They went to Scotland.
Yeah, they went to
Scotland. They were then
year.
over in England and the UK and stuff, right? Because Julie's family, I think her sister lives out there. She's actually Scottish descent, very closely. So they went up there and checked out the family history and
go up to the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah. Hey, they got good scotch up there too.
There's some pretty.
But yeah, he's doing good. We yeah. Oh yeah, there is some gold. Gosh, we've met a few characters from there. Pirate Dredger, that guy.
Yeah,
still around.
Yeah. He's still like active.
And then oh God, there's another guy too that was on Gold Prospectors Space. He was
Smokey.
Smokey, yeah, thank you. That's right.
He even that's who did the night before Christmas.
That's who did the night. Yeah. But gold is out there, but it's very weird laws. I'll say that because of the royal.
Well, they're supposed to be like only hands and pans.
Yeah, like there's the pirate dredger guy. He was like incognito, masked up. That's what he would have his little 3-inch dredger out there. I would see his videos and talk to him. He was hysterical. But yeah, it's a definitely different set of rules out there. That's for sure.
I've seen some of the stuff Pirate Dredger used to get though. And I could understand why he went outlaw.
I know, right?
Exactly.
I would too.
Now I have a question. Back a few years ago when you went to the AMRA annual dinner in California, you went up to Shannon Poe's mine.
Yeah, went to a couple places.
was there a high grading incident there with you guys and Shannon?
No.
I
So
think so.
we did go out as a group on an AMRA claim to extract material, utilizing a device that was, technically is frowned upon at the moment, I guess.
What
Right.
device?
The dredge.
Oh.
Well, now you
Right.
just get a reclamation.
Yeah, pretty
permit.
much we were cleaning up. But here's what was cool. Okay, it was December timeframe. That's when they have their annual AMRA dinner.
Right.
And we did the dinner, we broadcasted for Prospectors Radio, and then we went up to Greeley Hill, Coulterville area, and stayed up there, and then went out with the AMRA guys. They took us to one spot, one that's one of the claims that's an AMRA claim active at the time. I think it still is. And it was freezing cold. We woke up, there's ice and snow. I mean, you're at a higher elevation.
Right.
And we obviously didn't bring like stuff to get wet in, but we did bring like hunting coveralls and stuff like that.
So cool.
Right? Because we figured, we just hike around and go to some claims. We didn't think, oh, we're gonna jump into any creeks, right? Well, so they had equipment set
No
up,
wetsuit.
and Kathleen sees them, and and they're like, she's just staring like, do you want to do it? They offer, and she goes, yeah. And so she just gets down there. And like she's dredging, and she's like, meanwhile, everybody's just standing there. I go off with Jimbo, looking for, crevicing and panning and stuff. And you know what? You probably ran like a good solid hour at least.
In the cold water,
soaked in water. It was about knee deep high creek too.
But I was in
could
up to
see
here.
you doing that,
Yeah.
Kathleen. I've seen you tread flooding rivers.
No wetsuit.
No wetsuit, no waders, no muck boots. It was straight. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were a hot mess from that one, but
I found
found
gold.
some really good gold. So she got the big cut of it, the majority, while the other person that dredge got the other cut. And man,
I was talking
Shannon
about
threw
when
in
he
stuff
took
too.
I thought he took you guys to a hard rock mine.
Yeah. Okay. So we did go to a hard rock mine.
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah. So we did walk through there. We didn't find gold on that one. He was just checking out, because what we were really going to afterwards was to some new ground that was potentially available for AMRA. And so they went into a few of the lode mines that were on that property. And this was ground previously all overgrown, if I remember right, until the fires. So because the fires went through there, it was all pretty much accessible. You could walk anywhere. So Kathleen and I, while they went into some of the lode mines,
I did some
she wasn't
crevicing.
feeling it up to it. We started doing crevicing, and she found an actual really nice picker. Actually, I think it's actually the butterfly one, the small butterfly
one.
one.
Like the butterfly.
And this one next to the bigger one. The other one was our first picker. I don't know if this.
The butterfly.
Yeah, the butterfly one.
Ah, cool.
So, right. So that one was found by her, and they were like hoping somebody would find gold, and she did. I don't know what ever happened to that property, but
I think they claimed it, and then they took the dredge out there and did really well.
they didn't dredge out there.
What?
They didn't dredge out
They
there.
didn't? Oh, okay.
The dredges aren't allowed out
They
there.
could.
Jeez, yeah.
Now, in all your adventures, as the Wandering Buffaloes do, have you had any experiences like with spooks or Bigfoots?
Not prospecting, but
well, okay.
we did do this one at Niagara Falls that was pretty creepy.
Yeah, we did one with dowsing rods. So people would always say, like the old timers, farmers, to find water and stuff, dowsing rods, and like then there was whole thing like you could find spots of potential mineral. And she was a believer, right? And we find a run of gold on it, so whatever. But then of course from the spiritual sense, right, some people use dowsing rods to communicate,
Right.
so we did put a video out. We've done a few videos about ghost towns and other stuff, and I don't know, she's a believer more than I am. That's
Well,
Well, you know, I've
video.
used dowsing rods and pendulums and stuff, but I haven't for a long time though. Really, I've been playing with my detector more. Now, speaking of ghost towns and stuff, I enjoyed the videos you had of the Bisbee area and Tombstone, Arizona area.
Tombstone, all in southeast Arizona. That was a fun. So we planned
The Brucknell.
because that's what the Wandering Buffaloes like to do. We're not all about just gold. We also do
Right.
gems, crystals, and other things over the years, but it's also about getting out and looking up lost history and wandering around, right?
Yeah.
So we plotted a whole trip to like do this giant circle over the course of a couple days, staying in Tombstone, to visit some of the old ghost towns, Bruckow's cabin, which is a creepy, very, very creepy place.
That was just creepy.
Yeah, so and then she's had, even in Tombstone, we stayed in a haunted former bordello.
Oh my gosh, I did have an experience there. Okay, at the bordello. It was at night. Like I think we argued.
Probably.
We argued or something.
We're passionate people.
Yes, we are.
It's prone to happen.
And we went to bed, and he doesn't have a mullet. Show him your luxurious locks.
Luxurious locks, yeah, man.
Wow, look at you, hippie.
I know, I gotta get my hair cut, but I keep it kind of long now. But it's styled nice during workday.
Anyway, I digress.
Screw you, Razor.
He pointed out your gray beard.
I know, he's all calling me out tonight, man.
So
anyway,
you had a spiritual encounter there?
Yes, at the bordello.
Told her to get to work.
Well, okay, we went to bed mad, which we always said we would not, but we did. And I was sleeping and something jolted me awake. I mean, it was like, it just tapped me. It was just like a bunch of energy. And you when you see, well, I don't know. When you lick a battery,
Your
you put
battery.
your tongue on a when you're a kid.
Still do to see if it's if it's
right.
That's what it felt like, but on my back. That's what it felt like. And it woke me up, and I was just like, what in but it was that, but it was a shove. It felt like that, but a shove.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, they're telling me to get to work.
That's right, to work. And then the Birdcage Theater there in Tombstone, we did a ghost tour, which it was kind of weird stuff that happened.
The Birdcage Theater was fun. Yeah, they do a ghost walk at night, and they turn off all the lights. And there was actually, like, we were sitting there, and I could feel it behind me. We actually have it on video, but I don't think we put it out there, did we?
I don't remember.
But I felt behind me, but somebody across the way, like we were all in like a circle, and someone's like, "There's something behind her." Me, but you couldn't. But of course, we couldn't see it. But they were saying like, "There's something behind me," but I knew there was something behind me. That was the weirdest thing. But I didn't know what it was.
But yeah, that was always a fun trip.
But, yeah.
Right. So even when we do go out actual exploring, especially if we're mining for gold, we try to find mining history to go check out as well. Like in Alaska Gold Fever prospecting, if you're interested, they'll take you while you're there to Franklin. Right. So you can walk both sides of the creek. So one side is where the town was. The other side is when all the mining operations are still equipment there abandoned. Because who's going to hump that stuff out? Arizona, there's so much mining history going back, to, the 1800s, and then all the way back, if you know where to look, from the Spaniards.
Right.
Well,
So
just
it's fascinating.
when we explore out there, even like the old mines, just being out there with nobody around, you just feel like this eerie feeling.
Well, you got old Native Americans,
Yeah.
right? All their spiritual areas, their former lands that are scattered about. You got that history from Cochise. I mean, it's really
Oh,
fascinating.
even prior to that, you have like Anastasi and
Yeah.
stuff. Then, like you said, Cochise and Apache,
Oh, yeah.
Geronimo, and
A lot of history.
So here's my thing, though, right? So, like, why did Tombstone pretty much dry up in terms of being a silver town? It was for that big earthquake, which
Big earthquake.
we did a whole video about all this stuff. It was so much work, right?
The water
Shifted the
table.
water table and flooded it. And so
There's
that
still
tells
silver
me
in those
if
mines.
something happens, if those water tables shift, you know how rich those mines are still that the people could get into and extract under the right circumstances. There's a lot of deposits there still of silver.
so there was an earthquake, it flooded.
Yeah, there
And
was an earthquake in Mexico actually. And along that whole fault line, it was so massive. It shifted the water table. It cracked the ground, I think, going all the way up to, towards the northern part of the United States, all along that fault line. It broke open the ground. But it was devastating in northern Mexico. But that's actually what destroyed Tombstone as far as a profitable mining operation. It really didn't get a resurgence until like more of a tourist attraction.
right.
And that's like, if you go to like the birdcage, they have so much artifacts and memorabilia over the years. And when you talk to them, you find out that the birdcage was all closed up and sealed for decades under, somebody owned it, but it preserved all that stuff. So one day, as people started coming around and getting curious because of like the old West movies about Wyatt Earp and stuff,
Right, in the OK
that really brought
Corral.
that town back. Yeah, as a, more of a tourist thing. And there's so much of the original town, I shouldn't say the original, but over the years going way back to that era, that's still there to go check out. So it's a cool place. I mean, you gotta love the history.
But we don't really have to go anywhere for ghosts because our house is full of them. I'll just tell you that. With all the antiques and relics that we keep, there's stuff attached to them. I'm just gonna tell you that.
You bring back some Thai artifact with the little EBGB to it.
Oh, we do got some old Thai stuff.
We got rid of the spirit house.
The spirit house we got rid of, yeah.
But just when you go to antique stores, and just beware of what you pick up.
I also, and that's why it's down in my area, I collect
weapons,
militaria, especially old militaria. Primarily my era that I love is World War I era. So I have a lot of rifles, firearms, gear, helmets, you name it, munitions, all sorts of stuff going way back. She's afraid. I got stuff I brought back from my service she's afraid of. And then though I will say,
souvenirs.
Yeah, I got my own bringbacks. But here's what's neat, right, about the mining, prospecting, treasure hunting, type of thing. When you get into, you meet people from all over, various backgrounds. Since we're been on the topic of ghosts, I remember this guy we met, John Myers. He watched our videos. He was from Missouri, John. And he actually joined the OSPA to come prospect with us on the Double D. That guy was an actual legit ghost hunter and investigator. Actually, investigators, what they call themselves.
Oh yeah.
He showed us on the side there at night, like videos and recordings of the sounds of investigations. I will say there's some creepy stuff, man. So
there's a lot out there we can't explain.
Yeah.
There are.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but
don't know.
Could be very well spirits.
Yeah.
I mean, there's energy, and we're all like earth signs or whatever, because we all like to prospect and look at rocks and all that stuff. So you know,
Right.
you're just sensitive to that kind of thing. And I know there's a lot of prospectors out there into that, the crystals and all that, but
Oh yeah. I mean, that type of stuff, the spiritual sense goes back Native Americans, a lot of, earlier cultures and globally around it. I mean, gold, gems, crystals, all of it it wasn't about monetary value like it is today. So
Right.
it is fascinating. Then you add on, like, if you really think, especially out west, right? Such a tumultuous period, from outlaws, criminals to bandits to, the Indian wars, and war against Mexico, the Spaniards. There's a
Right.
lot of conflict, a lot of murders. And it's like some of the places you go to, you read the history and you find out like so many people were murdered right in front of their minds, or in other areas like Brunkhouse Cabin, right? It was always nicknamed the deadliest cabin in Arizona, right?
I've
There's still
heard of it.
graves.
I've heard
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
still graves all around,
around
but you
that
don't know
area.
where it's at. So many people were murdered there over the years. Going back to Brunkhouse, it was his cabin, and I think he wasn't murdered, but he went away to get supplies, and like I think they theorized it was like some of the workers that were from Mexico murdered everybody there. But then you also had, Indians that, attacked later occupants. Some of the cowboys that fought with Wyatt Earp, like called that place like refuge for a time. But I guess there's a lot of graves that were all around that, remnants of that little cabin that's still out there.
The outlaw gang, the Cowboys, use that area like
Yep.
hideout and stuff too.
Yep. And then I can't remember the one ghost town north of there. It was actually later used. It's a video.
Charleston.
It might have been Charleston. It might have been. It's so we do have a video out under our ghost towns, right? Where we did like several episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, whichever one it is, the name I can't remember, but it was actually used during World War II for warfare training of the Army.
I could probably
Not Fairbanks, no, I think it was
Fairbanks.
Charleston. But it was used for training for workups for World War II out there. So I found some, ammo casings from World War II era out there. But one of those remnants of the cabins, or whatever you want to call it, really the mud building foundations,
Right.
was also an old saloon that was owned by, oh God, what's one of the cowboys that fought against Earp, the Clantons, Clanton.
Oh, the Clantons,
right?
yeah.
And so, I think we talk about it in a video, but it was really fascinating to learn because,
Cool.
yeah, a lot of cool.
I'll have to check that one out. I watched the Bisbee one and the Tombstone one, if I'm remembering right. I watched a few. Doggone it. Paul Anthony, hello. Nice. I took you later when we've just been talking and everything. It's 42 after now. And
We're having so much fun.
Yeah.
I know it's been
fun,
such a
man.
long time, Kathleen.
I know. I mean, well, it's cool to also catch up.
Yeah.
It's cool to see, a lot of the same people that, from over the years, still staying true, watching your show. That's awesome. And thank them for supporting you. And it's cool to reminisce about, how we started, some of the adventures. Here's one called the Goldfish.
That's my koi fish.
Or koi. I wish the damn thing would focus better, but.
Here, let me put you up bigger again.
Give me that control for the machine.
I know. Why won't that?
Okay, thank you.
Maybe if I take it out, I think it's that plastic. So this one here,
He almost
I got
dropped it.
don't worry, we'll find it in the carpet.
Jeff
shag
Miller's
carpeting.
like, more porn, yes.
I know this, it's hard to show, but I swear it's the shape of a goldfish.
Not
There, see,
naked
there's the tail.
people, honey. We're showing gold, not naked people.
I know. Oh, wait, I forgot my tweezers.
He has tweezers.
We'll see if I can do this better.
Don't.
I know, it's my bad thumb that I cut off too, so.
Yeah.
Jeff's
hold
like, work it. Oh,
Hold on.
yeah. Take it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, gold porn was shown your loss. Oh, wetsuit modeling. Woo.
And then you always got to get some of the pure. This is a 20 grammer that we did for fun getting one time, right? You
Nice.
gotta love pure processed gold, but there's still something awesome about the gold you find yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Is this a
Well, you know, that's even better gold because you know what? Before you unearthed it, I unearthed it, Ray unearthed it, or whoever.
Well,
It was
and I think that's
placed
what's
there
cool.
by creation, and
Exactly, and you're the first
Mother
person that-
Nature put it there for a little gift for you to labor over. And
Yeah.
You know what? I'm getting the gold fever again. I thank you so much.
you're more than
For
welcome,
igniting that.
Kathleen.
Yeah.
Because we've been, well, we're kind of like slaves to our jobs right now. We're hoping that 2024 brings some changes and things. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully we were able to get out. I mean, we'll definitely get out at least a couple times this year, but we're hoping to get back
I mean,
to
trip
get back to the groove.
Well,
Or get-
I definitely
Stop.
hope to see you two on the river again someday.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
for
I mean, we're
sure.
lifetime members of
AMRA, GPAA, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same here. We're LDMA, so.
oh, you fancy.
Ooh.
Fancy. But
Well,
yeah.
you know, you
I-
could
I love
stay
it.
a lot longer on a LDMA property. I'll stay at Staten for 3 months during the dead of winter. Why not?
Yeah, that's not a bad deal there.
Actually, that's Kevin Hoagland's home now, too.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping up with all the gossip.
I know. See, I've kind
Oh,
of
hey,
taken a hiatus.
Shad, I have a great idea. You could agree. You could agree with me or not agree with me, but I know you two and Kevin Hoagland have a really good chemistry and friendship, right?
Yep.
And it's far different than like Dennis Dayton's or even Swifty's relationship with Kevin Hoagland. I am gonna be having Kevin Hoagland on. Jeez, I need get down to the right part of my schedule for the show. I'm almost there. Oh, there it is. On the 30th of April.
Okay. Nice.
Maybe we could work out a sneak attack where you hop in. Toledo Jess is
Yeah.
gonna be my guest co-host that night.
Oh,
but
nice.
Still,
Jesse.
you know, we all five have a camaraderie. We all know each other.
Yeah.
And if I could talk you guys to do a sneak attack on that night.
Yeah. Just text me.
And I think Kevin would appreciate it more than like having a Dennis Dayton sneak attack. Not that we don't love Dennis Dayton and like Dennis.
You gotta love the Dennis sneak attacks.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But
No, that'd be awesome because I haven't talked to
I
Kevin in
know.
almost a year now, and He's a cool guy, and like I about geeked out because like after Kathleen started learning more about gold and watching things, and then like I was like, that was back when the Weather Channel was still around, right? Owned by the Massies. So Gold Trails, they would have marathons, and we would watch it, right? This is before Gold Rush, all that stuff that's on, the TV now. And I was just like, this is awesome. And then I was like,
the collection
in Nashville, yeah, that first gold show, getting to hang out with them before, during, and after, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is like a celebrity me. I was like total geek on about it. But yeah, it started a good relationship. He's a friendship over the years. So he's wealth of knowledge, that man.
That
especially
he is, and he kind of has that persona anyway, with
oh yeah, he's got the hell of a voice, personality for it all. Yeah,
Gold Trails and what he's
and he
done
eats
with
it up,
that,
man. He eats it up too.
yeah, his podcast and shoot, what's the show he did on Aztec Gold or something?
Aztec Gold, yeah, yep.
I'm sure we'll be getting into that when he comes on, and I know there's not a gold show again this year in Ohio, unfortunately, or the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully they'll get back on that again.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Just text me when we get closer to April 30th, and we'll plan it. But we can't talk about it anymore. He'll get wind of it. So it's all hush hush now. It didn't happen.
Ray Russo said, I only got, one more year? Doggone it. One more year, then I am gonna retire from the body shop. Gold is gonna become my new job.
That's
you
good.
can do pretty good on that beach of yours, Ray Russo.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Yes, he does.
Clifton says Gold Trail is supposed to be coming to Ohio this year.
Oh, really?
Gold Trail.
Maybe we'll have to talk to Kevin Hoagland about that.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, because Kevin's been going around, traveling a lot.
Oh, he has?
To places and meeting people along the way. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot with the LDMA camps and stuff, I know. So, but we'll find out more about that April 30th.
Now, do you still do your annual
Flash Bash?
I haven't had Flash Bash. I'm not gonna have it this year, and I didn't have it last year.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go back home in Washington, Kathleen, when I still had my kids and we had a mining claim and stuff. My birthday weekend, whatever weekend was near my birthday, was the last camping weekend of the year. Okay. And we'd go up to my claims and we'd camp and I'd dredge and stuff and play in the creek. And I'm going to do that this year, but it's not going to be structured at all like Flash Bash.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
there's not going to be a paid thing for the camp or nothing. No free breakfast, no lunch included.
Sometimes
no
we just
raffles, no nothing. It's just, I'm going to be here. If you want to show up, you're more than welcome.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
If I do something like with Terry Grease Monkey and some other guys whose birthdays around the same time in September.
My birthday's in September.
Yeah, you're just a couple days ahead of me, I think. 17th,
Second. The
second.
second.
She's the second before you,
Okay.
yeah.
So maybe we could work out something, the Buffaloes. I was thinking either about Cottonwood Trails or Black Sands.
Where's
Okay.
Black Sands.
Remember where we had the gathering of Friends in Gold with Chris Chadwick and
Yep.
stuff?
Yep.
Right next
That.
to the Swankies.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Hosper was there, and you
A lot
guys
of
were
people.
there.
I think that's where I ate the crickets.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
ate the cricket.
Ate the crickets. Yeah.
Thanks to Benzo, I think it was.
You know, we've been wanting to take
no,
the
was
camper
it
out more.
Benzo?
No. Oh man.
But that's where I
Yeah.
was thinking
Eminem.
about
Eminem.
doing it.
Eminem mining. Yeah. Eminem mining.
Eminem, yeah.
Yep.
Mike and Melissa, yes.
Yeah.
Those doggone crickets. They worked kind of
That's where I got that copper round, buffalo round from them, actually, for doing it and winning. Eating the crickets fastest.
Yeah, they were dry. Mine tasted like lime, if
I had
remember.
You had
see,
sour
I had
cream.
sour cream and onion, which I love that flavor. But man, that dried the heck out of your mouth like that. I was like, it was hard to
it's
swallow.
hard. I hear that, hard to swallow. But so that's what I'm thinking about. No flashbacks, no nothing. Just I'll let people where I am, and his spot's in a good spot.
Mhm.
He's a fellow prospector. It's on the Clear Fork. It's next to two GPAA claim leases, and it's a donation basis. You make the deal with the owner of the property and come join us.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Well, Brad said you need to go to the Yuba Bash.
Yeah, Brad's
Yuba River, Cali.
I really want to go. Last weekend of July, the North Yuba Nugget Hunt put on by Tim of Blue Lead Prospecting here on YouTube. There'll be lots of people there. Lots of YouTubers and all kinds of people. Actually, our friend Thomas Pennyweight was there last year. But Brad's coming all the way from Australia to go to it.
Oh, wow.
So I really want to make it. I really want to make it.
Yeah, we have not gotten to hit the Yuba River ever, so we're virgins there. You pan and crevice mostly, right?
Pan and crevice?
Yeah. You can sluice and stuff, but detect, pan, crevice. Yeah.
Golden sands.
Snipe. Put on a mask and snorkel and float around and hit some cracks underwater.
And you just camp out there?
Tim's claim, actually, part of Union Flat Campgrounds is right on his claim.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's upriver from Downeyville, right on Highway 49 on the North Fork Yuba River. Downeyville, California, hey, in the Motherlode, heart of the Motherlode.
When is that?
The 27th, I believe, of July.
Oh, very nice. It's a good time of year.
It is.
Not too cold.
May, June, July. Yeah, it'd be the weekend of the 27th. So 27th,
so
28th.
You just have to have a YouTube channel to go?
No, could be anybody.
No. She was
Oh.
just saying a lot of people, YouTubers are going to be there.
I pretty much guarantee, like,
I don't
Top
know.
Cat will be there, Bedrock Bennett. Probably Two Toes will be there for sure.
Nice.
Smith's Gold. You never know, you might even see Pioneer Polly there. I know he was in the Motherlode earlier this year, so you never know.
Yeah, I know. He's like sneaking down from
The
BC down here,
Ray
man.
Russo's favorite twins were there last year. The AU twins. Um, just
Very nice.
Mike Vendetta from Vendetta Prospecting, Carson T-Rep, West Coast Gold Prospecting, Otis Ferris. I mean, what coming from Australia of all places,
Yeah.
Washington State, Oregon, Arizona, all over the country will be converging on the North Fork of the Yuba River. And I don't really know what Tim does. I think it's a free for all meet and greet. Pretty much.
Have at it. Wow.
Pretty
Very
much.
cool. Very cool. Awesome.
Brad says sniping I will be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm
Sniping.
gonna be paying a visit to Juneau, Alaska soon to have some words with Razor.
I like his long hair.
Yeah, my mommy likes it too.
He's got curls now.
Yeah, the back is getting long though. I'm a couple
I
weeks.
know I need a haircut, but it ain't happening until it gets warmer, let me tell you. It's plenty long enough to donate, but it ain't happening.
Actually, Razor, I know how to cut my own hair as a high and tight from being in the Marine Corps. I can do it by myself in front of a mirror.
Yeah, and Rocky Mountain Prospector Brad Holden says, I'll be there, Yuba 2024. JP Lonzimore was there last year. I believe he's going back.
Nice.
Rose from the Treasure Vixens. I believe she's going there. Just a whole slew, a whole slew of
Sounds like fun.
people.
How long does it go? Just one day?
No, over the weekend. You could
Oh,
camp
cool.
there for however long you want. Dano usually goes for about a week. Dano's been to them. I haven't yet. And
You need
Toledo
to get there
Jazz
then.
went last year too.
Hmm.
But like MJ and Banshee Mining will be there. MJ from Washington will be there, I believe. Just a whole lot
That
of
sounds like a
people.
big
That's cool.
Same rows.
Hmm.
I use Treasure Vixens, Paul, because I don't know if Shad and Kathleen would connect the same rows to Rose Nose Treasures. Is another channel of Rose's. It's her solo channel.
Oh, okay.
But I thought you met them.
Yeah, we met them. Yeah,
met
at one
them
of the
once.
flash bashes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the Norris.
Yeah.
The Norris. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you met Ralph.
Yep.
Ralph, don't you?
Yes, I remember that.
Kathleen's cracking up. Sorry, Shad. Sorry. Call you out like that in
I
front of the
know.
world.
Thomas took care of me, man. You know,
Yeah,
God,
Thomas was there too. Yeah.
veterans looking out for other veterans.
Right, right.
You know what? I blame HD Shovelhead though, because me and him were drinking some of that, Jack Daniels, and then I started continuing drinking other things.
Well,
and
you had quite a mixture
more
of
things.
alcohol, if I
And
remember
it
right.
really added up. Yeah. I remember standing, leaning against the tongue of the camper, trying to hold myself up for like 20 minutes, not able to move. And then finally, I just sat down in
my
a chair
gosh.
like forever before I crawled in and passed out. Yeah, that was that was Flashback, man.
That
I tied one on hard that night.
last
Hey,
one.
Flashbacks
That was the
was
big
a
one at
good
the doors.
time.
He let go. Yeah. Oof.
Hopefully, maybe the year after this one, I'll have a flashback. So, but
Okay.
we'll see how things go.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, shoot, we went way past your time and took
I
Oh,
us
it's
know.
into
okay. It was a lot of
overtime.
fun, man. A lot of fun seeing everyone.
It was great having you two join me tonight, Shad and Kathleen.
Appreciate
I've
it.
really enjoyed it.
It
Uh,
was
Now, next week, everybody, I'm having Justin Dienig of Lost River Gold joining us. And JP, if you're still here, Rookie Gold Prospecting, aka Gold is Where You Find It. Aaron will be my guest co-host for that show. Uh, those two have worked the rivers together before and also did some gem mining and stuff. So Justin from Lost River Gold's next week, along with guest co-host Aaron of Gold is Where You Find It, aka Rookie Gold Prospector. That should be a really good show. All of you, check out goldprospectorspace.com and Prospectors Radio every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where a lot of these fine people you see in this live chat are also over there. And until then, thank you for joining us tonight for this great show with my two friends, Shad and Kathleen. So, on that note, everyone, may you always have a flash in your pan, and you never know. Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river. It does
That's right.
happen. It does happen.
Awesome. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, all.
Thank you, guys. But, right now, I think we're out of here. Thanks, everybody. Ray, you instigator. Love you all.